fan. Hello and welcome to What the Football, only on IndiaPostLive.com. World Cup stuff as always that we're talking about, and we will begin right into it with Germany versus Portugal, the massive thrashing. Before we get talking on that, we've got the people down in Brazil who have been celebrating, and this is why.
For us it was a very easy game because the goals were the first half we had 3 goals, and so it was very easy to have the second half without a lot of pressure.
Great, we had a good time here and we had a wonderful game. I mean, we didn't expect to win 4-0, it was more than we expected. It was really good.
Okay, so
really
what
good.
are you going to do now after this party?
We go to the beach, go for a swim, and yeah, we'll see more games later on.
What's your expectation from Germany in the World Cup now?
Win? Then
Yeah, sure.
good. Yeah, they're good, they're good. They're good.
How do you plan to celebrate?
A beer, drinking beer.
Having some fruit.
Right, well, every reason to celebrate for the Germans down in Brazil. 4-0, they destroyed the Portuguese. Not what we expected, and it was down to one man who really stuck out, which was Thomas Müller. Chaitanya, a hat-trick for the man.
Well, a hat-trick and a well-deserved hat-trick considering his awareness in the box. That first, that penalty and that goal were almost predatory. And what's working for the Germans is they went in without a recognized striker because Thomas Müller plays everywhere. To get that kind of a return from him is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, he has this knack of picking up chances where they really shouldn't be, and Portugal just couldn't handle anything. Really.
Well, Portugal did get Müllered, so
They got Müllered. They got Müllered. They did indeed. Yeah, you know, they besides, you know, Cristiano, who Nani was hopeless.
Hopeless. Absolutely hopeless.
You said in a Portugal shirt it might be a different scene. Unfortunately,
It wasn't.
However, guys, we were totally right when we did the preview and we called that Pepe would do something, and he did.
He did.
Indeed.
He did.
Why? Why?
I think it's his
ground.
moral responsibility. I think he's writing a book, 101 ways to get sent off. I think his number, and I think he's racking up those ways very fast.
He must be at least into double digits.
Yeah,
For way
I was about to say 70s, but then again, considering it's a long career for him.
Yes, indeed. That man is violent. Nick Hill joining me on Google Hangout as always. Pepe, where was the need to... Do you know what he was saying to him when he tried to headbutt him on the ground?
I honestly think that Pepe said, no, the ball is mine. You go back to your schoolyard. All right? This is my playground.
And then soon after, he was schooled by the very man that he slapped and then headbutted, Thomas Müller, in fact. So that didn't really work out too well for them. Standout performers in that game, apart from, what's his name? Yeah, Müller, of course.
I think the standout performer for me was Cristiano Ronaldo because he was standing outside the pitch. I did not see him on the pitch.
So Cristiano Ronaldo, right? All the pressure on him. We were talking about this. That how do you know? We were talking about how you deal with him. But his own team wasn't dealing with him, so he had nothing really to do, and he seemed to just give up at one point.
Well, you and me both saw the game together, and in the second half, he looked despondent. He looked very visibly despondent, was not interested in what was happening. Tried his best with his free kicks because that was the only thing he could do. But aside from that, with little support from Nani, who was again at his wasteful best,
completely.
there was really no going back. And after a 3-0 scoreline at the end of the first half, your nails in the coffin are almost done.
It's true, but Nick Hill, like Ronaldo, everyone knows that all the pressure is on him, obviously, to make the difference and all this. Even when they are 2 or 3-0 down. Can you blame him for being a little discouraged or dispirited, considering he's got that responsibility of being the key person there? Can he afford to be pissed off, basically?
I've seen Ronaldo playing in a Real Madrid jersey. Okay, I've never seen his shoulders droop in a Real Madrid jersey or a Manchester United jersey. When Pepe got sent off, you could visibly see Ronaldo's shoulders drooping because they were already losing 1-0, giving away a very soft goal. And then comes Pepe's moment of madness. And then Ronaldo just decided, you know what, I'm just going to sit outside, soak the sun, maybe meet Arena.
That really took that
it took the wind out of the sails completely.
Oh my God,
you were going to say that?
Exact same thing, yeah.
I heard how you started. I thought I'd just sneak in there because it's a good line. Yes. Right, well, then, that's just them sort of in trouble now. They'll be able to struggle back. That group is not, I mean, Ghana, USA.
Well, the last night's game between Ghana and USA really did not do Portugal any favors at all.
I wish I had watched more of it. I was on the road for a fair while it was going on. I saw the highlights. Ghana didn't look like they should have lost.
Well, Ghana should not have lost. They came with a very huge reputation, and USA, as we know, has their moments in the World Cup. But in a Ghana-USA game, as a first game of the World Cup, you would expect the African nation to actually not make a meal of it, to actually go through the game. Sure, you might have hiccups here and there, but USA coming out with a very good result.
And not to mention one of the fastest goals we've ever seen. Clint Dempsey.
29 seconds. Fifth fastest goal.
And mind you, he even tried a little step over and got through as well. That was pretty cool.
Got a boot on his nose for all his work.
Hey, and fantastic. We've got Pratik joining us on Google Hangout as well. Pratik, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry for the shaky camera.
No, that's all good. I'm sorry for the shaky any dropping. I'm probably going to drop something later, so just warning everyone. Ghana USA, did you catch that at all?
No, actually I didn't. I had work today, man, so that was pretty late for me last
play.
night. But I believe that this is the first time the States have beaten Ghana in a World Cup match.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. No, we were saying Ghana had shots on target. They had it there. Tim Howard didn't really have to do much in terms of excessive saving. He did come through when he needed to, but they didn't trouble them, let's say. Even though they had opportunities, they never troubled them with it.
True, and also the fact that, well, USA came out with 3 points, but they had, there's a lot of expenditure on that win with Clint Dempsey out, Josie Altidore out of the tournament. So a lot of absentees for USA after this game, which might make it even more difficult for them to qualify for second. Yes, they've done the hard part right. They've got their first win, registered points on the table. But again, it's a long group for them.
Luckily, they do have a man in charge who has got the experience to do something like this. Jürgen Klinsmann, talk me through him.
Again, I sometimes get confused whether he's actually a Yank or is he a German, because he made them play the German way. There was a lot of American hard work in football, along with that German efficiency to guide them through. You see a lot of German well-drilled precision in them, their training ground routines coming to fruition. A lot of thinking going in the set pieces. Everything's according to a set plan. There is no chaos on the field.
Except for the first goal.
Except for the first goal, which was...
Well, you have literally 1 minute to mess around. Go for it.
That actually went pretty well for them, turns out.
That is true. Perhaps a little more flair required. Anyway, Ghana were grounded by the United States, so that's what happened there. We have got a What the Fact for you, to do with a little bit of the German stuff. Not the American German, but the German.
German.
This is all for you.
And it's all about Thomas Muller, the star of Day 5 of the World Cup, and scores a hat-trick while with 4 shots on target, gets 3 goals, and that's his first World Cup hat-trick and his second for Germany since Miroslav Klose did the same thing. Again, both of them running for Ronaldo's title of 15 goals.
Yes.
Thomas Muller surprisingly
He's
close.
halfway there.
You were pointing out for a stat which says 8 goals in 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, considering he has a great 2010 campaign, obviously, now building on that in Game 1, he's done double of what he did last time.
And
Game 1.
And Diego Maradona branded him a ball boy in 2010. If this is how ball boys are scoring, we might as well
More
make
of
an
them
11.
come to India. Come to India, definitely. Right, on to some news then.
The news.
The news. Right, a little bit of club news. We won't spend too much time on it. Rakitic. Oh, sorry. No, first, a fun thing. Arjen Robben. Arjen Robben. For a man of 35 years old, this guy has clocked in the fastest sprint.
I think he took the speeds out. He's 30.
No, he's 30 years old.
And he clocked 37 kilometers per hour.
That's higher than Theo Walcott, who is, of course, have you seen, a beast on the speedometer.
He's 23 and a 30-year-old man's beating him at his own trade.
I mean, all said and done, we may abuse him once in a while for his attitude, but he's got an engine, clearly.
Yeah.
So Yeah, fair play to him. Right, on to the next one. Rakitic done deal at apparently around £16 million to Barcelona. There he is, very happy. A 5-year contract to him. Nikhil, Rakitic, good signing? Hello?
He's going to do well. I think his hard work in the midfield is something Barcelona have been missing. And he's no mug with the pass. So I think it's signing for them.
I think I'd like to get Pratik on this, considering he's a devout Barcelona fan.
Ah, right.
And with Cesc Fabregas' sale, Pratik, do you think this is good business for Barcelona, selling their homegrown hero and bringing back a, well, it's like a 13 million profit, so you think it's good business at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's definitely good business. But, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So it's definitely good business, but I'm not very sure about the Rakitic signing, because the way he plays, he likes putting long balls into the D, and he's not much of a deep line playmaker. He's more of a attacking midfielder, which I honestly don't think we require as long as we have Iniesta. I mean, as a backup, I think Rakitic is too good a player to keep as a backup or bench.
True.
Fair play. I mean, but Iniesta is probably on his last legs, last couple of years. So, I mean, with a 5-year deal, this could be his... Would you see him as a direct long-term replacement if you had to?
I'm not really sure, because see, they do have a lot of good talent coming through the B team, especially and they also have Sergio Roberto, who they haven't really decided where they want to play him on the field. So there are definitely chances, but I do believe that Rakitic's a good signing. I mean, at least a signal of intent.
Happy days. Well, another guy who was rumoured to be heading to Barcelona at one point was Thomas Vermaelen, but now actually we've got some... Look at his smug face.
It's not smug. I am happy.
Smug face.
Hey, come on.
Okay, I'm guessing you know where this is going.
Call a spade for once.
That's not what I want to call you. Right, so Thomas Vermaelen is agreed... Sorry.
A deal agreed in principle for £10 million.
To Manchester United. And for Arsenal fans, some weird news on the flip side of that is that Smalling and Cleverley might come across to the Emirates. Why? I don't know. How? I don't care. I just hope it doesn't happen.
I think you've heard this very, very famous saying in the world.
Sorry. Look, Balotelli sneaking in the top there. He's close, yes?
Well, 25 million.
25 million.
You've heard of reduce, reuse, recycle, right?
Yes.
So that's what Arsenal is. A recycling plant.
Okay, no.
Hey, in their defense, you might recycle their careers.
Do you want to finish this on time and miss the thing, or I'll just drag this out so you miss the match? How about that? Okay,
moving
swiftly along. Fabio Coentrão, injured in the last game, looks like he will not be coming back. He said himself, and I quote, "I'm afraid that my World Cup has come to an end. I think it's a serious injury, though I hope it's not. These things happen in our profession. Unfortunately, today it fell to me. It's a very sad day, one of the saddest of my life, but this is just the game, and despite the heavy defeat, we can still go on through to the next round."
Yep, he's expected to be out for 10 days, and I'd like to get Nikhil and Pratik both on this. Pratik, starting with you.
How much will they miss him?
Yeah, including Hugo Almeida, who's also injured, was taken off for Eder. Pepe, who's on a red card. You think this group is going to be a very difficult group for Portugal suddenly?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Portugal were at least guaranteed a second place finish when they're coming to the group, or that's what they thought. But now, I think, especially with Ronaldo's also, playing up again, it will be very difficult for them, especially with their options of the pitch. And last match they were very porous, in fact.
And yeah, sure. With also to Nikhil, because Portugal apparently on their substitutes do not have a very good defensive substitutions with respect to their back four. So Nikhil, what do you do of that left back conundrum if you're Paulo Bento? Losing a player of Coentrão who plays straight for Real Madrid is a huge loss.
Pepe is not there, obviously.
And Pepe is not there. So what do you think the coach will be thinking of? Is it damage limitation now, or is it still all hell for leather?
See, with the team like Portugal, honestly, don't expect them very tight defensively to start with. They need to now sort of try and focus at plugging in and see how they can score more goals than the other team. They need to adopt the Liverpool mentality at this point. So honestly, don't see them being able to to sort of replace Contrao, but maybe they might find a solution in Beloso.
Sure,
So,
that's actually a
that
valid
I
point.
didn't
And
consider that.
Yeah.
One guy who is said he is fit, 100% fit, which Uruguay will be thrilled about. England not so much, is Luis Suarez. He said that he's going to get himself back into action. So expect to see him on Thursday night, so that would be cool.
Huge boost for
your
Uruguay.
defense. Yeah, now I'm really looking forward to seeing that Cavani the Suarez pairing. Right, that is that for the news. Shall we get to
the lighter
preview?
side?
The lighter side. Oh, the lighter side. Yes, the lighter side. Yes.
Because, well, Messi scored that wonder goal. I don't think it should be all on him, because we at India are making sure that he gets all his divine blessings. Because here is an interesting receipt for you, a receipt you might have never seen. This is actually for a puja that they're doing in South India for Messi. It's actually a Havan called the Shatru Samaharan Yagya. I got that right. Yeah,
well done.
Personal achievement unlocked. It's they have Messi scrawled. They have Messi written up top and his name. And since they don't know his birth star, his astrological birth star, you might see the second column, which actually has Argentina written on it. So every time you get into a temple for a Messi Havan, you have a 10, 15, 20 rupee receipt, and your blessings will be sent to the man from Argentina.
Oh, fantastic. Not that they need any more help with that kind of attack.
Sure, the opposition teams are not sending their coupons, are they?
None indeed. On to some more lighter stuff.
Lighter and golden stuff.
Yes.
Well, they're doing a 98 with the like the Romanians did, and Neymar and Dani Alves on their warm-up to Mexico actually went gold.
Yes.
Looking for the World Cup, getting the color on their hair, and, well, expect them to light up the stage with the same color.
I gotta say, does Dani Alves have really fast hair growth or something?
Or,
I see him bald one day, I see him with hair, I see him
Yeah.
dyed. He's got some serious hair growth issues going on.
Or I think Wayne Rooney's doctor is working double time on his hair. And looking at Neymar and Dani Alves, Aditya will now bring us to Brazil versus Mexico.
Yes, the bigger game tonight. Brazil versus Mexico.
Bigger game
The
tonight.
bigger game tonight, yes. The other one I will get to shortly because that's my personal favorite.
Yep.
But here is what Brazil will be looking like. The back line, no significant changes there
Not
at
really.
all, except for perhaps up with Bernard. If Hulk is not fit, he said he's got some injuries, so I've stuck Bernard in there.
And also what we discussed was...
They don't have any lack of pace. I think they will drift Oscar out wide like they had it last time and keep Neymar in the central
And I think also what we discussed about was Paulinho sheer effectiveness on day one. So they might get Fernandinho in for a good run out, see how he fares against a Mexican team which is fast, and you need a solid presence in the middle of the ground to actually curb that pace.
Luis Gustavo had a great game. I don't think he'll be on the pitch, that's for sure. The Golden Boys bringing up the back side with Alves and Neymar taking it up the front. That was a weird thing to say. Really weird thing to say. Right, next team, Mexico. Let's have a look at them.
Well, again, they line up with almost the same formation that won them that crucial game against Cameroon, if I'm not wrong. Again, Marquez manning that back four as a screen, and Dos Santos and Peralta at their brilliant best, as we saw them. 2 goals disallowed, very wrongfully disallowed for Dos Santos in the first game. He might want to make a good measure of it, and who better than against the hosts?
Yes, indeed. And Mexico, by the way, have taken Brazil down in some big games before. I've got them written down here. I tried to remember them, but I can't. In Brazil, wait, where is it? Right, they beat them 4-3 in the final of the Confederations Cup in 1999. So,
yes.
I mean, that 1999 team wasn't a bad team. That was a pretty good team. So, fair play. It won't be anyone the same, but there it is, there in history. So, good luck to them. I think they will do a pretty decent job. What's your prediction for that?
For Brazil, Mexico, I think it's going to be a very tough one, considering Mexico are really fast. I really love them for their pace and their nothing to lose attitude, fear no one attitude. I think I'll still go for a Brazil narrow 2-1 win. Oscar to score again.
Oscar to score again.
Oscar to score again.
Alrighty, Nick Hill, for you, standout performers from either team. Ignore Neymar, ignore Oscar.
I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say that I think Mexico are going to do better in this match because you have the sideshow twins on one side.
Yes.
So I'm expecting Marcelo to score 2 today.
So what is your final score then?
I'm actually going to go with a draw today. I'm
draw
gonna say,
today.
it's either going to be a 1-1 or 2-2. I honestly feel that Mexico have something about them to give Brazil a little bit of trouble.
But you don't. Sorry.
In terms of prediction, the safest way to go about it is ask Aditya who he's predicting and vote and put your money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, in light of this, we've decided to do a little competition which will be starting tomorrow. We've been keeping tally, starting from yesterday only, because I didn't want to take so many points against myself. We'll tell you more about that later. But Pratik, I wanted to ask you, Chicharito and Vela are not going to be there, obviously, for the front line from Mexico. Can the current boys handle it?
Yeah, actually, that's one of the interesting competition for spots that I see during this World Cup between Peralta and Chicharito. Especially because he's very disappointed and he's come out in the news about this, that he wanted to get picked and he feels he's of the quality. So I believe that he might be used as an impact sub to the tournament. And for tonight's match, I'm inclined to agree with Nikhil that it could be a draw, because Mexico will improve, especially after those 2 disallowed goals in the first match, like Chaitanya mentioned. Their quality was really coming through. I mean, they were disappointed twice, but they got back to what they wanted and they proved their point. So yeah.
But you're sitting on the fence, but you still need to stick your head out. I need a scoreline prediction here. We're not sparing anyone.
I would go with 1-1 or at most 2-1 to Brazil.
All right, well, I'm going to make the inevitable wrong decision here and go with the 2-0 to Brazil. What?
See, you shoot yourselves in the foot. You know Mexico are good. Why would you... How can they keep a clean sheet with David Luiz in the middle of the set?
I'm an Arsenal fan. I like to play the underdog, okay? Let's just leave it at that.
Keeps bringing Arsenal again.
Let's not... I don't want to think about that. I really don't want to think about that. Right, Neymar will have to be more careful though.
Yep.
Because he is on knows the second booking will cause him some issues, and that would
cause him a suspension for a game. But again, if Brazil get the win,
well,
you don't really need
him.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably
something that something that very few teams can say, that we don't need our star player. we'll make do. We'll make do. Speaking of star players, I think that's an appropriate key to move on to the next match. Yes, Belgium versus Algeria. Algeria have got their work cut out for them, because Belgium have got a star-studded lineup consisting of not 1, not 2, but 3 captains in defence. Yes. One, of course, will not be starting. That is Thomas Vermaelen will not be playing. He's busy.
I think he's busy signing the new contract.
Yes, moving on. Fellaini, I believe, is not going to be making a start. Lukaku is going to be proving himself Benteke's shoe filler. I think he's more than capable, of course. De Bruyne will be probably playing that central role, and Hazard will drift out wide. De Bruyne is, of course, their highest scorer through the qualifications, so good for them. I have to say, this team is going to go far.
Going to go very far. Going to go very far, considering that I was about to say that Mertens is not starting, and okay, I just blanked out.
It's okay.
Nacer Chadli will start instead of Dries Mertens, and that's the kind of squad depth I'm talking about. With anyone on the bench coming up at any time and producing the goods for the Red Devils, they share the same name as
they do share the same name, and I don't blame you for getting Chadli, because that's a Tottenham fan. It's easy to forget.
Yeah,
Tottenham players. That's all right. That's all right. Right, Algeria. Done the research there, guys, on Hangout. Have you checked out Algeria much?
No.
No. So,
Keeps it simple.
No. So, that means predictions. I have a feeling everyone's going to be predicting a win for Belgium. It's just a question of by how much.
But then, since it's your team, let's ask them a couple of players who might star for the Red Devils. Aside from Hazard again, the usual suspects, because we don't want them.
Let's just bring up the Belgium squad again. Out of that, take out Hazard. Let's go with the defenders there. Who's going to be the most influential defender out of there from Vertonghen, Company, Boyton, and Alderweireld? Nikhil. Should probably ask someone a question, right? Hands in the air.
I personally think the Company is going to be a huge guy in this World Cup. I really do see him doing well. because he's coming off a fairly good season. I mean, considering they won the Premiership title. So I do think that Kompany is going to be the guy to lead them correctly. I don't see them not being able to just dip into the bench and pick out wonder kids from Manchester United.
There you go. We were waiting to get to him.
Show that Manchester United have and just change things up.
Completely ignoring Nikhil on that point and going to Pratik for a question that I wanted to ask him since we've had this conversation already. How big of a role do you actually think that boy from Manchester United is going to play in Belgium's campaign for this World Cup?
Honestly, impacts up. He's too young, and Belgium has too much of quality in their lineup. But frankly speaking, not to disappoint you, I read a rumor somewhere that about Madrid's really interested in signing. That's what,
yeah, 33 million for the 19-year-old kid shows you how very highly coveted he is.
Very highly valued. And I mean, given that Belgium don't really have the best of, they have cover, but they don't have adequate cover, let's say. He will be, we will see him for sure. And I think
he's right as an impact sub, but actually it goes a long way if, for example, he comes off the bench, scores some wonder goals, brings in some magic on the pitch, who knows, he might just start.
Well, England have already got a 19-year-old starting for them, so why can't Belgium? I don't think there's any problem with that. He is cool. Algeria, by the way, it's going to be interesting to see how they play because, little fact here, they're the only country in the World Cup who've, all of their 23 players in their squad are all from different teams.
Wow.
Each and every single one.
That is diversity taken to a whole new level, isn't it?
So that requires a really solid manager.
Aditya, quick there, pronounce me the goalkeeper's name in 5, 4, 3.
Zemampouche.
Yeah, you
no, I added an extra A. I think I added an extra A. Zemampouche.
Also, in this team, I think
Bentaleb, he's always
very good player
solid.
Again for Tottenham. Majid Bourguera, their centre back, has got a lot of offers even before a ball has been kicked for Algeria to come back to the Premier League. Was with Fulham for a while, and again in the middle of the park, a very underrated player in Feghouli who plays straight for Valencia, plays the exact same role. Very explosive, in fact, very unpredictable. Expect to see some 35-yard strikes from him because he's done that a lot for Valencia.
So
last season.
With that Brazuca, if they get a clean one, who knows what
And he has
happen.
a very sweet right foot, so you never know. In fact, he's two-footed, so might come out of any of those cannons.
True. Say one person who we haven't talked about is Marwan Fellaini. Obviously, not the best of seasons for you guys, but your favorite line is in their national shirt. Will it be a different scene, or will he?
I hope so because a lot rests in.
Nani didn't prove it well from United putting on the national jersey.
A lot of the work for their ball possession and the distribution to their wide players will depend on Witsel and Fellaini actually spraying the ball around. And Witsel's a very good player, so it's up to Fellaini to step up the bar and actually prove his worth in a Belgian shirt, if not in a United shirt for 8 months.
Do you think, given that Witsel and Fellaini are sort of similar, these big, tall fellas, will they be on the pitch at the same time, or will they be used in rotation?
I think one player that we are missing out on who might just make the cut before Fellaini for a lot of the games is Moussa Dembele.
Moussa Dembele,
very fleet-footed, has again a cannon of a left foot, might feature a lot for the Belgians considering he's very deft, very sly, goes into a lot of spaces, unknown, unnoticed, and then pops up with that shot or that assist. So you'll probably see a lot of Witsel and Dembele on it. So I hope it's a high-scoring game for Belgium. So put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, Belgium, right. Then predictions, gentlemen. I'm going to start first.
Yes, please do. How wrong are you going to be on this?
I'm going to be. No,
because there's no scope. There's zero scope of going wrong.
This one, I'm going to be right on this one. So definitely, I have to decide on how close I want to be to the goals. I say Belgium are going to score 3,
and Algeria none.
I'll give them one dicey one. Actually, against that defense, I don't know.
So you're going for a 3-0.
Let's be fair. Let's go for a 2-0.
Pratik, you think they're going to clean them up, or it's going to be a struggling first game for Belgium to get into their stride?
No, I agree with Aditya there. I think 2-0 is a fair.
It's your loss.
More than 3-0.
You know you're following the wrong way, just so you know. He's driving on the wrong side of the freeway. You don't want to be the one trailing him.
Hey, anyway, man, I don't have that much of cash. I mean, if I did, then I may,
Happy
Not
days.
a betting man, friendly wagers it is.
Indeed.
Nikhil, your boy Azad scoring a hat-trick.
I'm actually looking at Belgium. being the first people to maybe score a 5 or 6.
So go on.
Unanswered.
Okay, 4 and above?
I'm saying 4 and above unanswered goals.
4 and above.
I tag on with him.
You're going to tag on to that?
You know what? I'll actually say 3-0.
Okay, you say 3-0. Okay, this will make our bet situation interesting. So what we're going to start doing from tomorrow, guys, is we're going to start making our little predictions between ourselves, and we're going to keep tally, and then you guys have to write in on Twitter and send us, aside from your tweets and your thoughts and all that, let us know what you think the loser should do. We're going to do best to 10 right predictions, or closest to. 2 points for an exactly correct prediction.
Can you tell our awesome viewers who's leading on this board?
He's leading by like a lot, but we're only starting it from yesterday, so he's actually only up 1-0, but it's actually more like 4. But anyway, that's going to happen. But apart from that competition, we have our own competition to win a trip to Brazil, which you guys should definitely take part in. That is on our website, indiapostlive.com. Do send us your team's selections so you can win that possible trip. And along with that, anything else that you have to say, we'd love to hear. Use the hashtag WTFootball at India Post Live. Anything and everything from...
Send me some tweets as to how to take care of him after I win the bet, because he's not going to do it. Please, the hashtag is WTFootball. Hashtag India Post Live. I need as many suggestions as I can. I'm actually going to go for a draw of lots.
Indeed. And one more thing I want you guys to do. You can always feel free to call in via Google Hangout and Skype. Participate in this show live as it happens from wherever you are in the world. That would be great. We'd like to see some fresh faces. Nicholas is getting a little boring.
Yeah.
No offense, man. Right. They're all actually, he took my side today. Okay, never mind. Right, that's about it for the show tonight.
Can I slip a quick fact in before we leave? The last game being South Korea and Russia. In an interview with Fabio Capello and the captain, they don't know none of the South Korean players. That's it from me. They never knew any of their names.
Fantastic.
Never knew any of their names.
Dookie. Well then, that is it on What the Football today. Guys, go catch the match. We have run over just a wee bit, but that's all right. I'm going to talk really fastly and finish this show, so see you later and goodbye, and that's the end of the show. Good night. That was chilled, no?
Yeah.
I would have liked to use them more.
Really? We did.
We used them.